Radio Romania International. You are listening to our one-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Africa. We can also be heard on the internet at www.rri.ro, Channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn and via satellite Eutelsat 16A on 11,512 MHz vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. Symbol rate 29,950 megasymbols per second, standard DVB-S2, modulation 8 PSK, audio PID 510. We wish you good reception conditions.
Hello, I'm Anna Maria Popescu with the news. First, the headlines. The authorities announced thorough inspections in all oil companies in Romania after panic last night caused unprecedented queuing in petrol stations. Prime Minister Nicolae Ciucă has talks in Bucharest with Lennart Tut, the EU Commissioner for Crisis Management. European Union leaders convened for 2 days in Versailles, France, for talks on Europe's energy independence and strengthening the bloc's defense. And after the state of alert ended in Romania, hundreds of thousands of Romanians have to renew their passports and IDs. Prime Minister Nicolae Ciucă announced thorough inspections in all oil companies in Romania after panic last night caused unprecedented queuing in petrol stations. The Prime Minister warned that the required measures will be taken to curb any illegal, abusive and economically unjustified practices. Mr. Ciucă made these statements after an emergency meeting with the Ministers of Industry and Economy and the heads of the Competition Council, the Consumer Protection Authority and the Fiscal Authority. The institutions have already initiated inspections following an unjustified fuel price rise. The Energy Minister Virgil Popescu also posted a message on social media stating the sanctions against those who break the law will be drastic. Prime Minister Nicolae Ciucă is having talks today with the EU Commissioner for Crisis Management, Lennart Tut, who took part on Wednesday in the opening of the European Hub for Humanitarian Aid for Ukraine in Suceava, northern Romania. The EU official said he was encouraged by the solidarity shown by the EU and its member states, including Romania. A new call center has also been opened today in Romania for the Ukrainian refugees, with Ukrainian-speaking personnel among others. Some 320,000 Ukrainian nationals have entered Romania over the past 2 weeks, and nearly 235,000 of them have already left the country. EU leaders convene today and tomorrow in Versailles, France, for a summit focusing on Europe's energy independence, on strengthening the bloc's defense, and on the EU accession request signed recently by Ukraine. A new plan will be discussed, most likely to be funded through a new joint loan in order to address the consequences of the Russian invasion in Ukraine. As regards the energy crisis, the European Commission has recently presented the Repower EU initiative designed to reduce Europe's dependence on Russian gas, which accounts for over 40% of the Union's natural gas consumption. As for Ukraine, a strengthened partnership is being considered by tightening Kiev's ties with the European single market and connecting Ukraine with the European energy network. Romania will be represented in the Versailles summit by President Klaus Iohannis. Ahead of the meeting, he took part on Monday in a video call with the President of the European Council, Charles Michel, and the Prime Ministers of the Netherlands, Greece, Croatia and Estonia. President Iohannis emphasized the importance of firmly maintaining the unity and coordination within the European Union and between the Union and the United States, NATO and other strategic partners in responding to Russia's aggression against Ukraine. Mr. Iohannis also presented the measures taken by Romania to support Ukraine, including the setup of a hub collecting and coordinating international aid to Ukraine and Moldova. The President of Romania also announced that Romania's support for the EU accession request signed by Ukraine, the Republic of Moldova and Georgia. Today's negotiations between the Russian and Ukrainian foreign ministers Sergei Lavrov and Dmytro Kuleba, mediated by Turkey, failed to lead to any progress towards a ceasefire. Promises were made to carry on humanitarian efforts to evacuate civilians without any firm commitment on Russia's part in this respect. Kuleba added that a decision was made to carry on talks in this format. In turn, Lavrov continued to accuse Ukraine of seeking to use biological and chemical weapons and of being manipulated by the West. Meanwhile, air raid sirens sounded once again this morning in the Ukrainian capital Kyiv as the third week of war began. According to the Ukrainian army, Russian forces are advancing in an attempt to surround the city and have carried on attacks in other parts of the country as well. Roughly 4,200 new SARS-CoV-2 cases and 62 related deaths were reported for the past 24 hours in Romania, a strategic communication group announced on Wednesday. After almost 2 years in a state of alert, Romania lifted all COVID-19 related restrictions on March the 9th. The authorities announced that those citizens whose ID expired over the past 2 years have to renew their documents within 3 months. As many as 387,000 people must get new identity documents by June the 7th. This was the news on Radio Romania International.